Hello, everyone. My name is Lynn McEntee, and I'm your host of Youth Connections Café. It's a program that's hosted by Moksha Canada Foundation and bellletstalk. Very fortunate to be here today as we are able to underscore the importance of mental health and mental health balance for our youth and how important that is. We are so lucky to have a variety of guests that share their knowledge with us, and we are able to have some of our youth reach out to in the community as well. I just wanted to do a shout out to Moksha Canada Foundation once again and Bell Let's Talk for allowing Youth Connections Cafe the platform and a safe space to talk and explore. A little shout out here. We about connect and we create and we inspire our youth. Before we get started, I wanted to do an acknowledgement of the land that we're on, wherever we are on a virtual platform. Out of respect, I would like to begin by acknowledging the Indigenous people of all the lands that we're on today. While we meet on a virtual platform, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands which we call home wherever we are. Do a shout out for us on social media. And if you have any ideas for our Youth Connections Cafe, we would love to hear from you. Or if you'd like to get involved and even be a speaker as well, or attend one of the sessions. We also have Dr. Hadi, who is a person who oversees the program. And he's been in psychiatry for very many years, for all walks of life. And should you ever need to connect with Dr. Hadi, we can put you in touch with him as well. So again, we're here from Youth Connections Cafe. I have a wonderful gentleman who is Azman Branudeen, who is representing Skills Ontario today. And whatever work we do, wherever we go in life, mental health balance is so very key in all that we do. So welcome, Azman, today to the conversation.
Thank you so much, Lynn. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. I've had the opportunity to speak with Azman before and another program that we do, and it was such an enjoyable experience that I thought it would be very beneficial to invite Azman to this program as well, to shine light on youth, but also to shine light on the potential for youth, right?
Yes. The perspective I'm hoping to bring today is from the opportunities that skilled trades and technologies in particular offer for youth, and I'm looking forward to sharing this information.
Oh, thank you so much. Before we get started, thank you. Azman has a wonderful presentation to do as well, so we can do some Q&A at the end, back and forth with ourselves. And we appreciate anybody who tunes in for the program at a later date. But mental health balance and any work that we do wherever we go in life begins at the birth, and it follows us through to the end of our life. Very important to recognize that and honor that in us and be in our authentic self. We're not always able to have the opportunity to do that, so it's really important to us for Moksha Canada Foundation, Youth Connections Cafe, and Bell Let's Talk to shine light on our youth and find potential for them to find their way in life, whatever way that may be. And we all need support systems at any stage of our life when it comes to mental health balance. Whatever work we decide to do, the skilled trades, whatever part we may go into, it's very important as a professional to honor that part of you. We were speaking a little bit off camera just about how important that is for ourselves. So we might open up the conversation to that as well too. So it doesn't matter what age you're at, but more importantly, we do want to uplift our youth and empower them to be successful in our society. So Azman, tell us a little bit about you and what you do for Skills Ontario and where your work takes you.
My name is Azman, as you very warmly introduced me. Thank you so much for that. Skills Ontario is the organization I represent. We are a not-for-profit, partially funded by the government, and we have partners in colleges and employers all across the province of Ontario. And what we do is we promote, in particular, a big chunk of the job opportunities that is available across Canada, which is from the skilled trades and technologies. That's almost half of all jobs. So what we do is we try to get this very important message across to young people, to youth all across the province, from students to different groups, to Indigenous youth, to immigrant youth, So we carry this message telling them, here you have a great opportunity to consider. It is financially quite beneficial. It is mentally quite beneficial. It is something that can really help you elevate your skills from all perspectives. And this is the work we do. And my work takes me pretty much all over Ontario. So in different ways and forms, in terms of the competitions we organize, in terms of the presentations we do for various youth organizations and schools, and in terms of other events that we organize under the banner of the skilled trades. So
That's really, yeah.
it's nice work, yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking it must be nice work, and all of the different people that you meet wherever it takes you, all walks of life. And how wonderful is that as we learn and grow each and every place we get to go, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you have a wonderful presentation that we can share with our listeners and viewers. I wondered if you wanted to jump into that, and then we can kind of go, with questions as you see fit and appropriate.
Of course. So thank you so much. I think the most important thing as I start is, since we were talking about mental health as well, is having the opportunities. It's having access to opportunities. Because if I feel like if youth and young people, if they feel that they don't live in a space where there's plenty of opportunities, then that can really impact the hopefulness they feel, and that in itself can, in turn affect how strongly they can establish their mental health. So from that perspective, I can reassure all of the youth across Ontario, for anyone who is thinking, hey, how's my future gonna look like? I feel like I'm uncertain about the things that I have to do. So if you feel that way, then one thing I can assure you is that the skilled trades and technology sector is very high potential. It's huge. And there's so many opportunities here, which I'm hoping to shed light through this presentation to you. So we'll get started. I hope you can see the screen. And of course, Lynn will help me out if there's any technical concern. The first question I would like to answer is the idea of what a skilled trade is. A skilled trade is simply hands-on and practical work. That's the most important thing about the trades. We also say that these jobs are technical and they allow you to be very creative. So as far as the hands-on aspect goes, any job, think about any job, all the jobs that you know. When you think about these jobs, if there's any job that particularly stand out in your mind, where the function of the work that you do is in your hands and in your physical body. So I'm talking electrician, I'm talking chef, I'm talking hairstylists, I'm talking welding, carpenters, plumbers, all these people who do their actual work using their hands. They have to use tools, they have to physically be present wherever this work is. This is the kind of work that we call skilled trades. So hands-on and practical is a big way of understanding what these jobs are. And it's important because not every one of us is really book smart, right? And many of us, including me, so I was definitely not a very book smart student when I was in school. So sometimes, we think that, hey, in a classroom environment, we're not performing well. And, we might feel a little down about that, because we might have our friends or colleagues who are doing much better in that setting. But that doesn't mean that we cannot thrive in other environments. So if you have ever thought that about yourself, and if you think that you thrive better in a more outdoor setting, you like the outdoors, you're good in sports, you don't fear using tools, you're the first one to use a hammer or a plier, or you're the first one when someone is working on an engine or on a car, or someone is trying to help, or working in the garden, you're the first one to go there and try to help. So if this is the kind of enthusiasm you have, then skilled trades are definitely a great opportunity for you to consider, because that's the nature of these jobs. Now, we say these jobs are technical, the third point you see there, because to become a skilled trades person in Canada, there's a very supportive learning ecosystem, which is very methodical, and it's huge. So you have to be properly trained. So you don't really just decide one day that I'm going to be a skilled tradesperson, and then the next day you're on your way to becoming a licensed professional. It's not, doesn't work that way. What happens is you decide, you make that choice, and then you have a very, very systemic pathway set up by the education system and the provincial government, and then you choose which pathway is good for you, which I'm hoping to explain to you today as well. And then you're on your way to becoming a licensed professional in 2 to 3 or 4 years, depending on the trade you choose. And creativity, creativity is a big part. And how human beings are the most creative creatures on the planet. Skilled trades offer an amazing opportunity for you to tap into that creativity. All of us are creative in some way or form. That's just the nature of human beings. All of us, every one of us. We may all not be creative in the same way or in the same environment, but we just have that spark within us. Like, for example, simple examples, not, if I ask you, has every table that you've seen, has it all been the same? Do all tables in Ontario look the same? No, they don't, because carpenters, for instance, who build these tables, if they're built with wood, they have to be very creative, understanding different people and their needs, and they have to tap into their creativity to come up with different kinds of tables to serve different needs of the people. And if you take something like cakes, and we know how big catering and the food industry is in Toronto and in Ontario and in Canada. Actually, cook and chef, those are two of the most in demand jobs in Canada across the country at the moment. Yeah, they're like in the top 5 most in demand jobs. So you can see how big that potential is.
Yeah.
And we see now, I'm based in Toronto, and we see how creative people in the food industry are with their flavors, with the looks, with the presentations, with the with all kinds of ways of how they innovate with the food. So that is skilled trades right there. So these are the kind of jobs that are available for you to consider as part of your future, if you're more of a hands-on, loving the outdoor kind of person. The second aspect I want to share about the trades is how big this sector is. Now, to be very specific, we say that actually the provincial government has recognized 150, close to 150 skilled trades in the province. They've recognized them. They are regulated. There's an ecosystem around all of these jobs, and they come from these 4 main sectors: construction, industrial, motive, power, and service. So those are the 4 main skilled trade sectors. Now, because we are talking about youth, and this presentation may be viewed by many youth, we also, or I would also like to touch on something called technology, which is a huge sector, and it stands on its own itself. It's not skilled trades. It's something different. So in addition to the skilled trades, you can also consider the technology sector as a very high potential sector. If you're someone who is what we call a techie, we'll see what they are about. I have a short video. Hopefully this goes well without any technical glitch.
Speaking of techie, right?
Exactly.
Explore your opportunities with Skills Ontario. Skilled trades and technologies refer to careers that are all about hands-on work. There are 5 sectors: construction,
How's your volume?
Service, and technology. Within the construction sector, professionals build, maintain, and repair structures like schools, hospitals, and homes. We say that people in this industry are creating the building blocks of our communities. When you picture someone working in this field, you probably see someone in a hard hat, safety vest, and steel-toed boots working on a busy construction site. You wouldn't be wrong, but there's more to this sector too. Plumbers, power line technicians, electricians, painters, and much more make up this field. There are so many opportunities. The benefits of working within this sector are the job security and the satisfaction that you gain by providing a tangible solution to a real human need. You can work outside, stay active, build things that will last for years. Within the industrial sector, skilled professionals manufacture and produce goods that are necessary for the building and growing of industries within our economy. By providing mass production opportunities and technological advances, they quite literally give us the tools to grow and improve. This sector includes welders, cabinet makers, metal fabricators, machinists, elevating devices mechanics, and more. The professionals in this sector are
Okay, as usual, we'll just do a retry.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
We're all about flexibility. Yes.
So we can start.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of tech.
within the
Yeah, there you go.
construction sector, professional, motive power, service, and technology. Within the construction sector, professionals build, maintain, and repair structures like schools, hospitals, and homes. You could say the people in this industry are creating the building blocks of our communities. When you picture someone working in this field, you probably see someone in a hard hat, safety vest, and steel-toed boots working on a busy construction site. You wouldn't be wrong, but there's more to this sector too. Plumbers, power line technicians, electricians, painters, and much more make up this field. There are so many opportunities. The benefits of working within this sector are the job security and the satisfaction that you gain by providing a tangible solution to a real human need. You can work outside, stay active, and build things that will last for years. Within the industrial sector, skilled professionals manufacture and produce goods that are necessary for the building and growing of industries within our economy. By providing mass production opportunities and technological advances, they quite literally give us the tools to grow and improve. This sector includes welders, cabinet makers, metal fabricators, machinists, elevating devices mechanics, and more. The professionals in this sector are skilled in math, science, chemistry, and physics, and may also be very artistic. If you enjoy these subjects and are technologically savvy, check out this essential industry. Within the motive power sector, skilled professionals repair and maintain cars, ambulances, buses, fire trucks, motorcycles, and airplanes. Thanks to them, we can travel to work, that nice vacation spot, or even the grocery store. This sector includes automotive service technicians, aircraft maintenance mechanics, automotive painters, truck and coach technicians, marine engine technicians, and more. Working in this sector, you can feel pride every single time you repair something that was broken or restore something that was damaged. You provide an important service. Within the service sector, skilled professionals work with our kids, our meals, and even our hair. From retail to agriculture to early education, these services are all about helping people, and they are fundamental to our society. The professionals included here are arborists, child and youth workers, chefs, hairstylists, electronic service technicians, and more. A career in this field varies in required skills and workplaces and is for those who like to be around and work with people. This is a very dynamic sector with many different opportunities. Within the technology sector, skilled professionals implement, maintain, and repair the technologies we use. From telecommunications to video games, we all use technology in one way or another. The professionals included here are 3D digital game artists, graphic designers, computer-aided drafting technicians, photographers, robotics and control specialists, and more. And as digitization evolves, it demands new skill sets and creates more openings and opportunities. If you love keeping up with technology, check out this fascinating industry. You can also earn a great living. Skilled trades and technologies offer competitive salaries and give you the opportunity to even start your own business. All the professionals in skilled trades and technologies are crucial to our province and our country. We depend on their work every day. They build our homes, maintain our cars, produce our tools, prepare our food, keep us connected to others, and more. They provide services that are irreplaceable.
Well, that's good. That's really good. That's broad, eh? That is incredible. Wow.
And sorry about the slight audio So I hope it was resolved.
Of course. Yeah, no, it was great, actually. Thank you. And very and so much there, so much information, right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
to just summarize what the video explained, mostly it was an introduction to the different sectors. There are mainly four called construction, industrial, motive power, and service. So construction takes care of all infrastructure. They build everything, all the buildings, roads, bridges. The second is industrial. They take care of manufacturing, basically machines. So the people in the industrial sector, they just know about machines. They know everything about machines. They are in charge of machines in the world. Motive power, vehicles, anything with an engine. So we are not just talking regular mechanics. We are talking, even advanced technicians and mechanics in airplanes, submarines, you name it, anything with an engine, as I said. Service is for people who like other people who help other people with our daily needs. They facilitate our lives, make our lives very easy. And tech is, if you like tech, it could be in gaming, it could be in new technologies like artificial intelligence or internet of things, or there's things like 3D printing nowadays. So there's a lot going on in the tech sector. If you like tech, this is a huge sector with a lot of opportunities. So that was what mainly the video introduced. I hope it wasn't too much.
No, it was great.
And with that, I'd also like to highlight a few important points about the trades, that they're essential, in demand, rewarding, and safe. Now, as far as the nature of why we call these jobs essential is concerned, it's the simple fact that without the skilled trades, life as we know it would come to a standstill. Imagine if we don't have enough construction, if we won't be having the homes and the buildings and the hospitals and the schools that we need. So even road infrastructure, even bridges and all of that help us actually live a comfortable life. So because of that nature of these jobs are quite essential. And that is why you never hear something called so this is something linked to the second point here, the fact that these jobs are in demand. I already mentioned that these jobs are essential and they're critical. Because they're critical, the demand is huge. In fact, currently the labor shortage in the skilled trade sector in Canada is about 1.2 million. There's a massive labor shortage that the government is trying to address. This is one concern that our organizations like ours is also trying to work on. This is why we are trying to get the message across as much as we can, because the government is actually in a bit of this will become a crisis by 2025 if matters are not really resolved as soon as possible, because population is also growing in most of the country. There's more people coming in, and with population growth, the need for skilled trades is even getting more expanded, which means this labor shortage issue is going to get bigger and bigger.
Do you mind if I ask a quick question here?
Yes,
Yeah, thank
please.
you. So with a crisis, do you think people are misunderstand the pay scale when it comes to skilled trades? Maybe perhaps they don't realize that there is a good pay scale?
That is one of the reasons. In fact, because more than the pay scale, because people actually in the trades, they make very good money. They make much more money than the normal, white collar, blue collar kind of jobs that the normal kind of jobs that we know. There are a few reasons that have caused this issue of the labor shortage. For example, just one reason that I would like to share here is that in the past few decades, there's been an overemphasis on the university pathway. And we are actually seeing the effects of that overemphasis nowadays, because there are a lot of university graduates without jobs, and a lot of university graduates who are working in fields that have nothing to do with their university education. and a lot of university graduates who are applying to college to get a college education in the trades. So this is happening. Not to say that the university pathway is not good,
Right.
but it seems like it hasn't worked for everyone, and it seems like many people for whom it is not a good choice have actually made that as a choice, and then later in life realized that they actually made a decision that was perhaps not the best for them. So because of these kinds of reasons, obviously misunderstandings as far as the pay is also one of those reasons. People thinking that there's not good money to be made here has kind of pushed it out. But we are breaking that message. Is actually it's something that everybody's slowly starting to realize, that because it's the demand, right? You get more money, you get paid more if you're doing something that is needed. So the trades are needed. Like, for example, in Toronto, plumbing and carpentry and construction are in the top three. They are some of the highest paid jobs and most paid jobs in Toronto itself. And for instance, I think that's actually something that
Wow.
I was hoping to touch on, which is like now what we have here.
Perfect.
So in terms of average entry level salaries, entry level wages, this is in the first 5 years of becoming employed with your license. After getting your license, we see that on average, these are some of the skilled trades that we see. And these are provincial averages, not just Toronto. In Toronto, the numbers are even bigger. What we see is that the average salary for all jobs is about $52,000 annual income. But the skilled trades people, like plumbers, they make about 65,000 and upwards. Elevator technicians about 80,000. But in Toronto, I understand it to be about 110,000, 110 to 130,000 per year. Because obviously, like, you have elevators, a lot of elevators in Toronto.
Good point.
So the more urban the area you're at, the more population concentrations you have, then the more money there is to be made. But what we see is that in terms of the financial benefit, the skilled trades are now offering a massive upgrade to how much money can be made. And also, obviously, I don't want to sugarcoat it, and it's not always like rainbows. Safety is a big concern with the trades. And over the past decade, there's been a lot of work that's been done to ensure that safety around the trades is up to its standard, up to the right kind of standard. The Workplace Safety Insurance Board of Ontario, in particular, is focused on ensuring that everyone in the trades, but not just the trades, but all jobs, but in particular, when it comes to the trades, that everyone knows and understands that they have a right to know and participate in the safe procedure of working. And also, especially in the trades, they have a right to refuse unsafe work. If they think that a project is unsafe, employees now can refuse to undertake that job and say that until this work is at a safe standard, then we don't want to engage in it. And there is not going to be any kind of negative consequence or penalty or pay cut, or there's nothing like that going to happen. So safety is like really stressed because the trades, as I said, it's outdoors, it's using tools. Sometimes you're around, like as a chef, for example, you're working with dangerous temperatures, right? Sometimes it's freezing cold, or you're working with boiling water and things like that. So we don't sometimes think that there is a danger around these things, but there is, in fact. Sharp objects. Like if you walk into a construction site without a hard hat, and like a designated construction site without a hard hat and a safety vest, and steel-toed boots, if somebody sees you, you're going to get scolded. And you're going to get into trouble, because you cannot, in Ontario, you cannot walk into a designated construction site without those, whoever you are.
Yeah.
So safety is a really a big concern. which I think now brings me to how do you actually get into the trades? I mentioned how it is important for youth in Ontario to understand that there are opportunities, plenty of opportunities for you. So as far as the way of getting into the trades is concerned, now what happens with a post secondary level, once you finish high school or once you get to that level, whether you have your diploma, the high school diploma or not, is you have few options to select from. Now, among these options, the two options that can help you get into the skilled trade sector is called apprenticeship and college. And the idea is that there are even pathways for those of them, maybe coming from an immigrant background, maybe who don't have a full-fledged high school education. Still, the door is open for you to choose the skilled trades. That's how these programs and pathways are designed. The college pathway is huge. In Ontario, there are 24 public colleges, and they don't only teach the trades. They offer a massive variety of programs. But in particular, if we talk only about the trades, the college ecosystem offers more than 600 skilled trades programs.
Wow,
more than 600. And also more than 500 technology programs. If you're interested in tech, there's a range to select from. And they have blended learning. They have online virtual learning. With the trades, of course, it's blended at the very least, because you can't really learn the trades without actually doing the work and learning how to do it. So you have to be on campus, at least for a good portion of your education. And one thing I have to highlight about the college ecosystem is that it's well funded. So most of the trades programs you can actually do with minimal funding from your own pocket. There's scholarships and bursaries. There's obviously in Ontario, there's OSAP, access to OSAP funding. In addition to which, the skilled trades are being promoted heavily nowadays by the government because of that huge labor shortage problem I talked about earlier. So because of this, for anyone who's choosing trades and trades programs, there's many options for you to look for alternate funding as well to keep the financial pressure on you at a minimal level. The second option is called an apprenticeship. So this is a really unique opportunity. It's unlike anything else we've seen, and apprenticeships are actually getting a huge pull. There's a massive demand and massive acceptance rate with apprenticeships. What happens in an apprenticeship is once you fulfill that certain age criteria, you can find a business, you can find someone maybe in your local community, maybe a multinational company in the trades. So, and then you reach out to them and you see if they have something called an apprenticeship. So what they do is that particular company will basically hire you, but not to work. They hire you to teach the trade. That's what an apprenticeship is. They take you in and they teach you by appointing an expert in their company. An expert employee will be appointed as a one-to-one mentor, as your guide. And you will be the apprentice, and that person, whoever gets appointed, will be the expert. And that person will teach you everything they know about the trade until you get your license. So it's all the way, it's hand holding, it's mentoring, training, guiding, teaching by that expert tradesperson. They will teach you, and it could be a 2-year or 3-year or 4-year program, depending on what you choose. And the highlight of an apprenticeship is because you get hired by a company, they pay you. For the learning that you do, you get paid. So if you, for example, if you spend 4 years in an apprenticeship in a company, that's roughly about 8,000 hours. And for all those 8,000 hours, you're the one who gets paid. So you could be getting paid upwards of $23, $25 in most cases for any kind of apprenticeship in Ontario. So those are the two ways. Now, as far as the Ontarian education system is concerned, this is for at a school level. There is the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program. This is for students who are 15 and 16 years old. It's an amazing program. What happens is this is sort of a pre-apprenticeship opportunity. It's a chance to get into the workplace and to really test drive that your skills and just to observe and just to see what's going on to understand whether you like it or not. That's all, right? It's a kind of a little bit of a pre-insight into what will happen if you choose an apprenticeship once you finish school or once you get to that level. So there's a massive acceptance rate. And yes, Lynn.
Yeah, how long has this program been going on then? OYAP.
Yeah, it's quite old actually.
Yeah.
It's been in the Ontario education system for longer than I think 20 or 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now almost I think the OYAP is becoming the most highly the most prominent gateway into apprenticeships because almost all OYAP participants are being offered apprenticeships in those companies in which they got the OYAP opportunity for.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
so they take them in while they're in school, they show what's happening, and then most of the time they offer a full-time apprenticeship saying, once you finish school, just join us. We have an opportunity for you. You can come and work with us
and
or learn with us.
Do you mind if I underscore then the mental health aspect of that? Because this program has been around for a period of time. Obviously, someone realized that how important this one is. It's pre-entry, I guess, if you will, as you'd said. At such an awkward age, we have so many things going on with our validation of who we are as a young person, right? And contributing to society. So to find a program like this would be so valuable to validate the young person and sort of what they're thinking and what they're feeling and where they think they may want to go. That's really cool, that validation of them as a young person, realizing that need.
Absolutely, because what's been happening is that the school system in certain occasions, sometimes we always find, I always meet students who are uncertain.
Yeah.
They're not sure what's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
You walk into a classroom of 30 students and there's always going to be about 10 students, they've decided, okay, I'm going to go to university or I'm going to go to college or whatever. But there's always, a group of students who kind of, who are still thinking and who are still, not sure what to do. Now, OYAP is this amazing opportunity for such students to really just get an insight into a workplace, go there, meet those people, talk to them, and understand and listen to their experiences. And every OYAP graduate I have spoken to has always good things to say, because what they say is, it's OYAP that allowed me, that gave me some information that I would never have gotten purely from school, because they actually got a chance to go to a workplace and listen to those people and talk to them and ask them questions and observe what they do in their daily lives and see that, hey, here's an opportunity for me. Here's something that I might actually enjoy doing. So that is really big, because for those, especially for those who feel uncertain about their life and about their future, having an opportunity like this, having a program where they can really go and witness what's going on, really helps with that validation process as well, and understanding that there are plenty of doors open for them. And to that effect, I think I have a quick video which I would like to share again.
Thank you.
See.
If it wasn't for OYAP, I would have never been here, that this was available for me.
I was never one to be able to sit in front of a desk and do paperwork all day.
It helped give me a jump start on a career I knew I wanted to be in.
I like working hands-on with people and talking to people.
When jobs came in, I got a little bit more hands-on every time.
Getting to do different things every day
Makes me feel like I want to do more.
It's changed everything for me. They know my name now, and it's gained me instant respect.
It showed me the way to go.
What OYAP has done for me is get me real life experience.
It provided me the confidence and the skills to pursue this industry.
OYAP helped me get into the workplace, and get some work experience.
It gave me the opportunity to step out and be an adult. It got my foot in the door for a career.
It introduced me into the career of an auto body repair, got me into the real work experience. It really solidified that I wanted to be a mechanic. Getting the experience to go into the shop and see how it works.
The shop is now my classroom, and I get to do hands-on stuff, and I'm making money while I'm doing it.
OEF has definitely affected my future career choices. Right now I'm just like totally into hair.
If I didn't start OYAP, I want to get this good experience of working on the job and learning what it's all about.
Giving me a look inside of what I want to do and wanting to do in the future.
It gave me the opportunity to go out and explore what I can actually do and my talents.
Okay, so that's about OYAP, and you see how many people it has helped and really solidify that decision of what they wanted to pursue. With that, just a word about Skills Ontario. We have so many other initiatives apart from conducting presentations like this, getting that message across. Some of them are competitions, some of them are mobile classrooms, some of them are different career events and trades events for different groups, for indigenous youth, for young women in the trades, etc., etc. So I would definitely invite anyone who is interested to engage with Skills Ontario in whatever platform, whatever capacity they want to. And the mobile app is available. We are available in all social media platforms. Just search for Skills Ontario. And our sponsors, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning, is mainly the government. And also we have partners in colleges and in employers. We kind of act as mediators, bringing all these people together, bringing the ministry, bringing the government and colleges and employers, all of them together into one common platform. I think one good example is the Skills Ontario competition. It attracts almost 40,000 visitors. Almost there's all the time we have about 2,500 to 3,000 competitors, youth from the province who compete. That's a central, that the Skills Ontario competition is a competition where youth who are in the trades, who are interested in the trades, compete in the trades. So the competitions are the trades. So it's welding, it's competing in construction, competing in woodwork, competing in cooking, competing in cake and baking and hairstyling. So it's 76 competitions. It happens every year. We just wrapped up the provincials at the Toronto Congress Centre this year. After a 3-year hiatus because of the pandemic. It was a really amazing event, and I would definitely invite anyone who's interested to engage with the competitions if you're really into the trades next year as well. Plans are underway. So with that invitation, that's what I had to share as far as the presentation is concerned. I hope it's useful, and yeah, so we can take it forward from there.
Oh, that is amazing. No, for sure. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. You scored a lot there. It's about empowering the youth and finding a match. How important is that? And it's such an awkward time when you're, let's just say, for example, in high school, and when you're coming out of junior high into high school, when you don't know what you want to do. And that's okay. You're about to discover what you want to do. And to have mentors and resources available to you are so important. So then could you speak to, Azman, just about how wonderful a feeling that is when you find the empowerment for youth, when the youth find their own voice and that they are welcome at the table of conversation in the field that they're perhaps going to pursue. Like what does that feel like as a person who's going out and meeting the different young people and then knowing that they're making those right choices?
Well, it's part of why I like this job, in fact, because the message is important. The message we carry is important. And when we talk to young people, they actually and see that, sometimes, I talk to, I do these presentations, or we are at an event and we explain this opportunity and how to go about it. And sometimes I literally see that there are students, young people in the audience who suddenly in their mind, a light bulb going off, suddenly a kind of illumination in their mind, a clarity, thinking that, oh, hey, this is something. So just seeing that, from that, to all kinds of conversations I've had. Because the organization collectively, we have, for example, this year we have taken this message across to almost, to my understanding, about 120,000 youth across the province.
Fantastic.
Directly, right? Directly. So and all of them having this clarity about this future opportunity that is available for them, that in itself has been very, very rewarding. And in particular, there are so many examples, so many cases of students sharing their success stories, and they and later they come back to their schools to share their own stories with their youngsters, with their juniors in the colleges and the schools as well. So all of that work, it seems like it's quite beneficial to society as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you so much for that. Could you speak to yourself for a moment, if you feel comfortable, about when that light bulb moment was there for you?
Well, my journey, I'm an immigrant to Canada. My journey has taken me a few places in my life. For me, now, if like my country, Sri Lanka, which is known as a third world country, or a developed country, or developing country.
Yes.
The ecosystem we grew up was very different. I always say to young people here that they're very lucky.
Yeah.
They're lucky because actually they don't have that compare and contrast ability. Now I had it because I grew up in a different setting.
Sure.
So we don't have this kind of ecosystem. We don't have organizations like Moksha or Skills Ontario. We don't have any of this. So youth here actually don't have any reason to feel bad or feel hopeless or anything. For me, in my case, we try so hard back home to become a doctor or an engineer, because that's what the society has kind of put up on that pedestal, saying, hey, this is what can make something out of you. So we try so hard, but not everyone can end up being a doctor or engineer. So I was not a particularly book smart person. And I never got the grades, I never got the grades to clear those careers to get into university at that level. So the grades I got, I had to kind of do the best I had, and that was finance. So I got into finance, and I did financial accounting, only to realize that it was not for me.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Sometimes this is just my personal story, but even if it's not for you, and life can throw such challenges to you, put you in situations where maybe you're doing something that is tough, that is challenging, that feels like it's not for you, but you can't give up. So thankfully I did not give up, and I had my friends and my family to support me all the way. So I did not give up, and I was a financial accountant for almost 6 years of my life, 6 to 8 years. Yeah, about 8 years there. And trust me, you don't want me to be your financial accountant. You don't want me to do it. Like, and yet somehow I managed, and I kept on working hard, having this building these alternate routes for myself, and that's how the immigration plan worked out. So I kept on working, somehow accumulating the necessary experience and the education along the way. And that was the light bulb moment, was actually when my dad offered me this chance. He told me that there could be something for you to consider in migrating, and your work so far has so this is not related to trades, but your work might be relevant for you to apply for a migration. And that's when I went and researched, and I thought it did seem possible. So took a chance, and COVID hit, but waited a couple of years to hear back from Canadian immigration. But that was one moment, and with that, landing here, this is also known as the land of opportunities. So I really saw a chance to now kind of explore something that is maybe for me. And I've always liked working with youth and sharing and speaking to them and giving them useful information. So then, while working in finance, that's the thing about Canada, that's the thing about here. this system is that there are always opportunities. There is no reason for anyone to feel bad or down or hopeless in any case. I really don't see any, and I don't, sometimes I hear that there's an issue with mental health, and there's a lot of people going through a lot of tough times, and I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised because I think it's because where I come from, we have bigger problems, and then sometimes some of the problems here we take them head on.
Yeah.
So I'm actually surprised to that. But having an insight into the school system has really opened my eyes as well. So I have had many of those light bulb moments, just a couple there that I shared.
No, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that, because maybe something's not a fit at the moment, but you'll find another fit if you keep pursuing and keep pushing on. And
just don't give up.
Don't give up, and that's the thing. And we're providing hope. Maybe somebody is not getting that support system from their home, but perhaps there may be a network that they can tap into, such as OYAP or other opportunities. They might be living independently as a teen attending high school. They're not with their families. But there are these linkages that can be provided if you're feeling like the fit is right, or you want to self-explore. There are other ways to go about it for sure. And I think honoring our mental health is important, and internationally, whatever capacity that may be, because everybody deals with different challenges and struggles and affirmations. Right. But in the same sense, it's knowing what our needs are, because everybody has their own story. Right. So underscoring our mental health today, but, hoping to bridge the communities in Skills Ontario and the skills trade with any of our youth would be watching today or listening in or discussing with their friends in the community, that there is an opening for them. There is a way. And I just briefly wanted to speak about, you mentioned women in the trades, and I was just watching something yesterday. It was Conestoga College and the program that they offer through women in trades, and it's specific to women.
Right.
So that's also somewhat new in the past few years, encouraging all humans to participate in skilled trades.
Yes, because traditionally, I think there's been this idea that, maybe some of these trades are physical, and that might not actually be a good fit for women. But that is now broken. And we actually meet a lot of people, very successful people in the trades who are women.
Yeah.
And who are doing, and one thing they say is that they've brought a completely different dynamic to the work environment. And they have come up with very creative ways of getting work done, and sometimes even faster, because of obviously sometimes physiologically there are differences, but because of that has actually added a strength in getting work done more effectively. So how diversity can be a strength, right? How it can be a good thing. So now that barrier is getting broken, and if there's any young woman, anyone who is interested in the trades. In fact, I think in the apprenticeship pathway, there is a $6,000 completion grant for any woman in the trades. If you are a woman and if you complete an apprenticeship, I think the government is giving you about $6,000 as a completion grant, as an incentive, as a motivation.
Yeah.
For choosing something like that. So that barrier is getting broken, and I think today talking about it is also contributing to that. So if there's anyone who's feeling very strongly about working outdoors, you like this kind of hands-on work, you don't want to be sitting in front of a computer or something like that. You want to meet people, you want to solve problems, then skilled trades are definitely one of the best opportunities for you to consider. Definitely.
No, that's very cool. Thank you for that. Thank you for giving that ray of hope for the skilled trades field. Really, really appreciate that. And then I guess finally, if we could just underscore words of wisdom in terms of how important it is to acknowledge your mental health in the profession that you decide to take on, and your opinion.
Yeah. So this is just my personal experience. So I'm not a mental health expert or a professional. My experience personally is that mental health is among the most important things for you to be aware of and for you to take care of. However good you feel physically, you feel strong and you can bench press 100 kilograms or whatever, it doesn't matter, because if your mental health is weak, then you're not getting anywhere. You won't even feel like waking up from your bed and going to work or getting the things that you need done. So importance, yes, absolutely. And what can, for me personally, has been surrounding yourself with the people that you love, and more so people who love you. And that is a distinction you can easily make. When you talk to people and you spend time with people over a period of time, you understand whether people really like you or not, right? And you don't want to offend anyone. You don't have any problem with anyone. But if you don't want to surround yourself with toxic people around you.
Yeah.
So if there are cues, and there are, I think, mental health experts probably with you have or will be sharing that time and time again for us to understand who are those people who we really need to keep around ourselves, and who we can tap into their energy, and we will also be a support system for them, because that's the kind of relationship we have. So I can say my parents or my siblings, or it could be friends. Maybe you have a good friend or friends, your partners. So having the people who you can openly talk to, right? Who you can communicate with. It could be organizations. There are plenty of organizations who offer, I think, my understanding, support with a completely non-judgmental, independent, completely, a compassionate support system. There are many organizations like that. So having people like that is, I think, in my personal opinion, the most important thing, because where mental health can get really tested is when life throws challenges at you, and you feel bad, and it could be different challenges for different people, but it's just some kind of pressure point where something is not working. And when something is not working, what do we do? So the best thing is to have people who you trust, and you can talk to them. And even if there's no solution right away, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that people understand, and nobody's going to judge you, and nobody's going to put you down because you're facing this problem. And there's always going to be people who love you and who accept you for who you are. That is, I think, the first and the key thing for me, that has helped me maintain a good mental health, which I would encourage everyone. Surround yourself with people who you like, and people who like you, and life will always, whatever challenge there is, life will always be good because you have those people around you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Azman. Everybody needs a cheering section, very much so. Well, it's been an honor to spend time with you today, and thank you for speaking about Skills Ontario and the opportunities and hope for our youth of today, for the future of tomorrow. Truly appreciate that, and look forward to having you again, perhaps in another capacity, another program that we do. We have had Skills Ontario Azman Branudeen, who has been our special guest today. And once again, we want to thank you, Azman, for being here.
Thank you so much, Lynn. It's always a pleasure to be here, to talk to you, and to share this information. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you to Moksha Canada Foundation, Youth Connections Café, and Bell Let's Talk for supporting our programming and our ideas about empowering the youth of today and the future of tomorrow. Shout out to Moksha Canada Foundation. Our mission is to bring awareness, educate, and create needs-based programs and services in arts and culture, health and wellness, and foster and sustain safe, healthy, vibrant, and inclusive communities. My name is Lynn McEntee. I've been a humble host of Youth Connections Café today with my guest, Azman Branudeen from Skills Ontario. Thank you so much. See you next time.